The life that you want to live is possible, right? It's very possible for you to live the way you want to live, do what you came here to do, enjoy your life. How many how many minutes of the day do you spend doing what you love to do? How many hours? Like, it blows my mind that people are like, "Oh, I'm so unhappy," but they don't really check to see why. They don't analyze. They just say, "I'm unhappy," and they want people to fix them. So they go to therapists. Therapists prescribe them pills. They think the pills are going to make them happy. See, the issue is they think they have depression. They think they have anxiety. They think that, that, I don't know, that they have bipolar, or that they're manic, or that they're this or that. And I don't believe in any of that, right? Because I was diagnosed with a few things, but their diagnosis is too puny to really define consciousness. There is no diagnosis for consciousness. Consciousness is too complex to be diagnosed with just words and meanings that really don't mean shit. Because what really means something is finding out who you are. Because you want to know, they said I have ADHD, ADD, whatever the hell, right? Where it's like hard for me to focus, hard for me to pay attention to things or whatever. And it's not hard for me to focus and pay attention to things. It's hard for me to focus and pay attention to things that I have no interest in. And then they said, oh, I have bipolar. And then my whole life I've been told I have an anger issue because I get mad. And it's like, no, I got mad because I had no father figure in my life. So I was mad about that I had to learn how to be a man. And I thought men were more aggressive and hard and whatever. And it's just me analyzing myself and analyzing why I am the way I am, and analyzing, do I want to be that way? Simple as that. 5 years ago, I did psychedelics. Well, I smoked DMT, and it made me realize that we are just a collective of what has happened to us until we decide to either stay like that or change. And it is completely up to you whether you want to stay the way you are or change. Because you can change. It is possible to change. You just have to, honestly, after watching a video like this, just stop watching content, shut social media off, go in a room and meditate and figure out who the fuck you are. And when I say meditate, I don't mean sit there like, I mean literally sit there and think about, what do you want to do with your life? What do you enjoy? And do what you enjoy to do. And this is the thing, right? I enjoy being an author, but I hate writing books. So it's like I hate writing. I love talking, I love making videos, but I hate writing, right? Because I have a hard time writing. Because when I was in school, I've never passed a spelling test in my entire life, and I've never, I wasn't good at reading or writing, right? So it's just I hate writing. But I want to be an author, so I write, right? It doesn't matter if I hate it. There are some things that it's like you're going to have to do even though you don't love it because you love it. It's like a fucking paradox. Life is a paradox, right? But I find myself a lot in the paradox of life where it's like, for me, I want to be an author. I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to be this. I want to be that. But we can't. Everything you want to be is not what you were meant to be, because if you're doing something you were not meant to be doing, you're just a wannabe, right? You want to be this, you want to be that. And, I'm to blame for this as well, but at the same time, I've tried so many things that I can feel what actually is right. I can feel, like, the times that I don't want to do it, but I do it anyways. Where it's like entrepreneurship, for example, where I'm learning about entrepreneurship, and it's like, these are things I'm learning about because I've never been taught entrepreneurship. No one in my family has taught me anything about entrepreneurship. There's nothing, like, the only thing I learned about entrepreneurship was kind of seeing my dad, but like, I didn't really see what he did that much, right? And he's not really what I would say a successful entrepreneur. But the way I look at things is, if I never tried a bunch of shit, if I never, like, at 11 years old, I tried, recording, singing, making music, and I fell in love with it. right? I fell in love with singing. I fell in love with rapping. I fell in love with writing lyrics. Even though I couldn't spell shit, it didn't matter when I'm writing lyrics because no one else is reading it. So it's like it doesn't need, the only one that needs to be able to read it is me. So all my spelling would be wrong, but like as I started rapping, I got better at speaking and developing my vocabulary and the way that I talk and the way that I articulate my words together and just the way I think in general, right? Writing helped me mold the way, mold my skills. And it's like once I figured out that I have a skill in talking, I have a skill in writing, even though I fucking hate writing. I love writing lyrics, I hate writing books, even though I'm writing books. But the way I look at these things that I hate doing, I still love doing them because it's the same thing where it's like, when you work out, do you love it? Like, do you like to run? Do you like to work out? No, I don't. I fucking hate working out, but I do it every day. I fucking hate it, but I do it. You know how I got down here? I did a 5-minute jog down here, and then I'm gonna do a 10-minute jog that way, then another, then a 10-minute jog back, to my house, right? But I fucking hate running because I don't jog. I fucking run, right? So it's like, I fucking hate it. I hate doing my 50 push-ups in the morning. I hate writing in my book. But these are things that I have to do because these are things that I must do. For me, it's not I can do this or I should do this. It's that I have no choice but to do this. And I think when you find out what you were born to do, it's much easier to be like, I got to do this no matter what. Because I was having a conversation with my friend yesterday, and, he was just saying how, like, the reason why he can't, he loves to write, he loves to write, and if he sat down and wrote a book, he'd be able to write a book probably in a month, right? A complete full chapter book in a month because he loves to write. And he said he could do like a chapter a day if he really sat down and did it because he loves to do it. But he just came to the conclusion that, like, the reason why he can't do it, he doesn't have that drive, is because he was doing it for the money. He's doing these things for the money, and it made me realize I don't do this shit for the money. I'm not writing a book for money. I don't even expect to make any money from the book, right? But even though I might, but it's like, I don't fucking do this for money. I do this because I genuinely want to help people just be free. Fucking free. We're all fucking slaves to the fucking society we live in. And I want us all to break free and say, screw you, society. Fuck you. I'm free now. And it's beautiful, right? You don't have to be a part of what everyone else is doing because what if you're not a part of that machine? What if you're not a nut and bolt in that machine, right? Life is more complex than we realize, and we are trying to be molded into computers. And I think that if your job can be replaced by a robot, like if your job's going to be replaced by a robot in the future, if you can imagine your job being replaced by a robot, you're in the wrong career for humanity because that means that's not what you were meant to be doing. What you were meant to be doing is something that only humans can do. Like only humans, I mean, yeah, you could say that a computer could make music, but a computer couldn't make music like the way we make music. A computer can't paint art the way we paint art. A computer can't articulate things together the way we can. It does it in a different way. We are unique. We have the ability to create machines and create the technology and create the world we're living in. Somebody created this phone I'm recording this video on, right? And it's like, imagine if that person just sat back, was quiet, got a job, became a doctor, because maybe that's what their parents wanted them to do, and then just became a doctor and never found out what they wanted to do. I guarantee the person that created this phone had a passion for creating things, tinkering with technology as a kid. Like a lot of people who are like Elon Musk, for example, people who build technology, a lot of them were doing things like that as kids. I was making music as a kid. I was talking as a kid. I was writing and singing as a kid. I started making videos, also for the entrepreneur thing, right? A lot of people be like, oh, maybe you're not, cut out to be an entrepreneur. Before I knew what the word entrepreneur meant, I was running a studio out of my basement and having people charge me to record their music and having people charge me extra for me to master their songs. So it's like I already ran a business once. And this is when I was like 17, 18 years old. And it wasn't a legit business. But it made me realize that I have the blueprints for who I was born and meant to be. The blueprints are, I'm an author. I use my words. I make videos. I use any platform I can, any social media site I can to get my message across. Instagram, Minds.com, BitChute, which is now turning into BitTube, fucking Twitter, Hellonis, there's a bunch of other social media sites, like, I'm even on an 18 plus site called CocoScope. Like, I'm getting hundreds of views there for some reason. But it's like, this is what I mean. I'm everywhere, right? And this is what I'm doing. I can imagine a life where I don't do this. Because whether I'm rich or not, this is the funny thing about me. This is why I want people to find what they were born to do, because it'll make you feel more fulfilled than any amount of money can fucking bring you. Because I make beats, I make music, I make videos, I make, right? I create. That's why I'm fucking happy as shit. That's why feel so beautiful. Life just feels so beautiful, even though sometimes I wake up and I don't have money for this or that, right? Like, some people, they'd be like, yo, I'm broke, but yet they have more than $100 in their bank account, right? I got less than $5 in my bank account. So it's like, and right now I got less than $5 to my name. That's what it is right now for the next probably 2 weeks or so. But like, this is my thing though. My thing is, money comes and goes, and I now know what to do with the money when I get it, because I'm soon going to be getting some money, and then I'm looking for donations to invest in my business, because I've had money before, right? There was a time where I was walking around with $500 in my pocket at all times, and that was extra money. That was when I had a job, and I was also running my online herbal business, and I had a bunch of money. But honestly, I'm happier now than I was then, because right now I'm doing more things that I love to do than I was then. Because me working a job is like fucking slavery to me. It's because it is slavery. Most people don't realize the job, 9-to-5 job, is honestly what replaced slavery. So what do you think happened when slavery became illegal? You know what the rich realized when slavery became illegal? That it doesn't matter. They didn't give a fuck that slavery became illegal. You want to know why? Because they're like, hey, we could pay these people that were just working for us for free as slaves, we could pay them 5 cents an hour, and they'll come back and work for us. And a lot of them did. And now look at us, hundreds of years later, we're just work jobs like it's normal. And some people need to work a job because that's what they love to do. But a lot of people don't. A lot of people shouldn't, like, cashiers and fast food and like truck drivers and factory workers, all these things that can be replaced by robots. These are people that need to find their true passion, start creating, start painting. If you work at a factory, that's okay. Just when you're home, fucking paint, sing, make videos, talk, philosophize, write books, research, do something, create something, sculpt, fucking sculpt with wood, sculpt with rocks, sculpt with clay. It doesn't make clay pots, start businesses. Fucking do something. Because you will feel so much better when you just get up and you try things. And you try and you try and you try. It doesn't matter if you actually, so what you try, you don't have to enjoy. It's just when you try something and you're like, oh, I didn't fuck with that. You think that you gave up on it, or you think that that you're like, oh, I don't want to quit this because I don't want to be a failure. But you need to sometimes try things and then quit them, because it's a feeling. If it was what you were born to do, you'll feel it. You'll genuinely feel alive. I don't know how to explain it. Making this video, I feel so alive, right? I got 1.5 hours of sleep last night, which I do not recommend. And the only thing I have in me right now is kratom and caffeine and a little bit of cannabis, right? But it's like, I don't know. I feel alive. I feel like $1 million. I feel like, because this video itself has energized me, because it's what I love to do. Even though I hate jogging and I jogged here, I was energized when I got here from the jog. I was energized from the workout I did before I came here. I was energized from me editing a video last night. this is just my life. And I think that we need to find what we were born to do, because we will feel alive.